All right, so you kind of
We done with it. We done with it.
Kind of held my point.
How long you answering these questions for, bro? She answered the question perfectly.
Can I? I mean, is there room for an opposite opinion?
There is.
Yeah, this is that. Young Pira Overdilla, behind the mic like the will of a vehicular killer. The threading.
Haiti is Little Africa of the Western Hemisphere. Only because I feel like our country is probably the most African of the diaspora out of all of them, just because due to the length of time we were in slavery. But I find a lot of similarities between all the things that we do.
Okay.
One being the WhatsApp chains that we all get.
So
okay.
you got the background. Your parents are both pastors. They definitely did great things in their community, right? So me and Bobby had a little bit of a back and forth, debate before you got on, right? And we were talking about, some of the current affairs that's going on in the Black community.
Are you wait? Listen.
No, I just want to ask you a question.
Are you comfortable talking about current affairs?
Yes, of course I am.
Right.
Okay, please go on.
All right, moderator. So with the current affairs, right? I think me and Bobby on two different, I guess, ends
ideologies
of the equation, right? So I don't want your full conversation. Trust me, I'm gonna edit it so it looks a little bit better and we could kind of put it in where it fits.
Okay.
But you have your obligation. You have what motivates you to help other people, right? Now you're a lady of power. You're in a corporate position. You've always helped people throughout your corporate experience, right? Now let's take the person who's an athlete or an actor who has thousands and thousands of followers, right?
Okay.
Do you feel because of their journey, whatever that journey may be, their expertise is in the craft that they're currently in, whether it be acting, singing, rapping, being an athlete, I don't know, whatever you want to call it. Do you feel like they have an obligation to also pull people from under to kind of help them elevate as well because of where they are in their craft, or does it have to be much more than that?
I think it needs to be more, because some people could just be good football players, but they might not be good people, if that makes sense. So
boom, Bobby.
I don't think
you explained it wrong.
I don't think your talent dictates how you are as a person. So for me, if let's say I was a great, I can't play football, some kind of sports, but if I was a great basketball player, for example, in the WNBA, if I knew there were girls who looked up to me who wanted to play in the WNBA, I would reach out to them. But that doesn't mean my teammate does, because my teammate might not have that spirit. They might not be raised that way. Like I told y'all, I was raised in a very servant type of role. I just knew that, to me, family is over everything. And I consider people who look like me to be family. So I'm going to help my sister out. I'm going to help my brother out because they're family. But not everybody's raised that way. Some people, even some people who are only children, they don't know what it's like to share. I had 2 brothers. I know what it's like to share. So I think it's very much based on the personality. I don't think your talent dictates how you should, mentor or support other people.
So you don't judge somebody for not bringing somebody up. I guess that's what I'm trying to say.
First of all, I'm not judging. Is it your time up? Is it?
We just asking. We just talking WNBA. We just talking basketball. Season's over. We just talking basketball. That's it. So Lily, if you see another WNBA player and you see that person is not reaching out or being a mentor, you're not going to judge them, right? Because that's probably not how they were brought up, right? That's probably not their passion, and that's what they're not focused on. I don't know. Maybe you could put it in your own words. I
can't judge them because that's their personality. But for me, I'd be like, dang, she knows she could have helped her out. That's what I think. That's me. I can't put that on someone else. I can't put my beliefs on someone else. And I think that kind of relates to religion, where some people are like, well, I don't like Christians because Christians do this. I can only tell you what I know about Christianity. I can only tell you what I know, what I believe. You can choose on your own to believe that. You can choose on your own to follow that. But I'm not going to beat you over the head with it. I'm just going to tell you what I know and what I believe is true. If there is,
right? There's always room, right? It's conversation. So, by your last statement, because you said you're Christian, right?
Mm-hmm.
God bless. That's beautiful, right? You're Christian too, right? You are Christian. Anyway, so are leaders born or chosen? Simple question.
What is this?
Simple
To
question. Simple question.
me, to me, I
Uh-huh.
think leaders are born and they develop by their experience. I think I think this kind of relates to almost like when you see in the corporate setting, the people who become managers and people who become leaders. I feel like they just wanted, a lot of them just wanted to be in charge of something, but they don't have the gift to actually lead a team of people. It doesn't mean you can sell the most amount out of everybody. Sales means nothing in leadership to me.
It means nothing.
I
So
mean,
that's,
sales organizations might think differently, but I think if you can lead a team, your team will run to a fire for you because you know how to lead them right way. You understand. And I think in order to be a real leader, you have to know how to follow people first. And I think that leadership spirit isn't in everybody. Not everybody has that.
but
I think everybody has that spark, but it can develop based on how you grow.
so that's my point. So I believe that's chosen, right? People
Okay.
choose who they would love to follow in a burning building, right?
Mm-hmm.
Jesus was chosen. You know, he was he was Mary's son, but he was chosen. Mary was chosen to have Jesus. He was chosen, right? You Christians, right? Yeah, right? So I think personally, people choose who they follow. Someone can consider themselves a born leader. It doesn't mean they have any followers. People choose who they follow, right? And to that point, in a figurative way, like when you look at Instagram, you have followers. You have 100 million people following you. Yes, you don't think you're a born leader. Like, I don't necessarily think LeBron James is a born leader. You know, on the basketball court, he's not even like a born leader. But he understands that people have chosen to follow him. So then he uses his platform to reflect the people that have chosen to follow him. And that's responsible. And in a world that we don't really have, in this whole conversation, like kind of like giving you some insight into what we're speaking about earlier, in a world like right now, we don't have the Marcus Garveys, Martin Luther Kings, Malcolm X, they're gone, right? And there's no one to replace them. So who are people looking up to? They're looking up to the people that are now just rich and famous.
Yeah.
That look like them.
Right.
So unfortunately, now you just have this social responsibility. And yes, it is a burden. No one asks to be looked at as a mentor or a leader or a messiah. However, you know, now you're shepherding all these, you know, innocent livestock that are looking up to you. It's an unfortunate situation, but I think it's just something that needs to be accepted. You accept the followers, you accept everything you get from having these followers, because now actually followers directly correlate to money. Like, it's essentially like, you can't say, you can choose to not follow these, like you choose to reject the follower, but you know the following makes you more popular leads to your marketability. Lily, that was for you. And hence you're making more money because of your following. Kevin Hart says the reason why Kevin Hart is as popular as he is right now is because he leveraged his social media followers to kind of grassroots his movies. Use that, hey guys, I'm going to pop up in a movie theater. Hey guys, interact with his followers. He gained more followers, similar to The Rock, and hence they are now on top of their game. But then when now there's social issues in hand that affect your followers, you say, I'm not a role model. I only use my following to monetize. I don't use to actually make lives better. That's on you guys. I think that's irresponsible in this day and age. If we're talking 1960 something, 1950s, okay, and yes, maybe you have so many other role models that are willing to do things. But you could see how many people stood by Colin Kaepernick when he was kneeling, celebrity-wise. He was ostracized. There were very, very few people that he considered friends that stood by him. If this was the 1960s, he would have 1 million people with him. You know, when they did that at the Olympics. The whole black community was behind him. All black celebrity community was behind those guys. Muhammad Ali, the whole black celebrity community was behind him. From Kareem Abdul-Jabbar to the football guy. Name escapes me right now. But like, it's changed. But I think that times have changed. There are not as many positive role models that are from off the field, off the silver screen, off the, you know, whatever, the billboard charts. You know, they're not that many. So we have what we have. So if Jay-Z says, guys, stop rioting, guess what? They probably stop rioting. Or at least majority of them will.
That's fair.
That's
I
just
think,
my take. That's my
yeah,
hot take.
I totally understand your point, and I think it's part of it is society's fault because we've
Thank
made
you. Yeah.
celebrities into this big thing of, oh my God, it's a celebrity. I can't look them in the eye when they're really people just like us. They put their pants on the same way we do, maybe with the exception of Beyonce. They put on the same way we do, but I think it's partially our fault.
We
I
created it.
and like I still don't think, to me, it's probably just because of how I was raised. I don't look up to celebrities in that way to look for an answer. Just because my parents always taught me not to, but it's just a habit, and I just don't look at them as like being above or this great thing. Yes, I definitely acknowledge their accomplishments and whether how smart they are, how great they are. That's definitely cool, but I don't look to them for advice, if that makes sense. And I think a lot of people put celebrities on this huge pedestal of something that they can't even attain. Like they're just regular. Like they're regular people. They eat food. Like they're regular, and they put them so high up that they put them in at a level that they can't even satisfy what they want. So I do see both sides. So I totally understand what you're saying, but I think it's just our fault.
The media created the monsters. I mean, they
Mm-hmm.
call them influencers. I mean, for crying out loud. You know, what are you influencing? You're influencing people,
Yeah.
right? And you're paying them to do that. Like Kim Kardashian, and I saw something with Vivica Fox and a couple of other black Hollywood starlets that were talking about how, you know, the Kardashians changed how women look at their bodies. So every woman had decided to go get their body done because now that became the epitome of sexy.
Yeah. I get
Right.
it.
And this started with an influencer. So if someone can actually make you go and put silicone in your ass, can't they make you stop rioting? Like, I mean, that's a lot. That's a lot more to do putting all this rubber in your butt and flying to somewhere in South America, as opposed to some that same person saying, "Just stop rioting."
I think it's a cycle, though, because I think it's someone does something, we react to it in a certain way, and then people like the reaction or dislike the reaction, so they end up doing or not doing it. So, like you said, for example, Kim Kardashian, she did not have surgery, but she now has the body that I guess was the epitome of what everybody wanted. Yeah. I guess a lot of women probably saw the reaction from men that they probably liked. And they're like, okay, so men like this, so I must have to look like this. So in return, they go and get that surgery. Or even if we look at Kylie Jenner with the lip injections and her lip pumper, most Black women have like bigger lips anyway. I unfortunately don't. But most Black women have like bigger lips, and then they're like, okay, guys like these lips, so maybe I should get it too. So I'm like, it's like a reactive cycle. Like as soon as someone does something, they watch the reaction. If they see that positive reaction, they want that same thing, they do it. If they don't care, then they don't do it. But I think it's, again, a society thing.
Yeah, and honestly, the kids of the society. So like how we grew up with different things. We only got cell phones when we were in our teens. I mean, listen, I had dial-up, I think, my first year of college. Like, literally. like it's unheard of, right? So, you know, we grew up in a different age. So, yeah, we can sit back and say, like, listen, I'm not motivated by this stuff. I'm not really influenced or look at these people for direction on how I should live my life. But unfortunately, a lot of people do.
The amount of access.
And
like
you guys said, there is more access to a lot of information than it were before, right? So, Lily, I think you touched on a really good point, right? When somebody is, you know, a celebrity or has their own business, and they probably go through these partnerships or these different sponsorships, there's contractual agreements, right? So, yes, I'm not going to look at a celebrity who was raised up in a tough environment, who really doesn't care about, you know, anything else besides the materialistic things. I mean, there are people out there like that, and there are people out there that's like, you know what, I came from this, I want to see my people live up to, you know, the dream, right? So with that also being said, you can't hold every celebrity, artist, or whoever that's having a bunch of followers to some type of high standard of judgment. Because let's say these people have these different sponsorships or these different agreements where they're not supposed to engage in, let's say, political talks or different type of aspects. They just can't do it. So you can't be like, yo, I can't believe this person didn't speak up for us, man. But you don't know that this person has businesses. You feel what I'm saying? The person has businesses. He's not trying to mess up the money that he has going on. So I was talking to Bobby, and I guess we'll talk more about this a little bit later on. You know, he was saying with these celebrities and these people that have thousands and hundreds of followers, they can plant the seed so the younger generation can follow them. I totally agree. But we need water to make that seed grow. And I think the water that we need is having the Black community actually unite, start businesses, support the businesses that's within the local community, lobby for new legislation and things of that nature. So we actually do have a power of a voice, because this is not the first time we've had, and I want to tie in a little bit of the current affairs, that we had something that affected the Black community and is doing nationwide, news report. No, it's not the first time, and I don't think it's going to be the last time, unfortunately. But these riots and things that happen right there, or when something happens and, we have a celebrity talk about it and tweet it, it's like, okay, looks cool, let me like it. Next day, it's a new day. Nothing really happens. You know what I mean? Like, there's no power in the numbers that we have right now. We have power in numbers if we have action behind those, those talks and those tweets and anything that you're looking for us to do, because the information is so readily available that we should be doing way much more than our prior generation. But, we'll talk more about that. Me and Bobby, I almost threw my computer on the floor because I don't know, man.
First of all, your computer is on the floor.
Yeah.
You don't have a desk. So.
That's how I like this. That's how I like to throw my computer on the floor. If you really got to throw it, you got to throw it. I was like, throw my computer on the floor. Make it topple over. We heard some of the businesses that you have, and we also have a segment here on the Chop Up where we pretty much just ask you one or two questions, and we kind of just want to get your insight. I know we talk a little bit about, having social responsibility, bringing people up, and that's something that you do currently. You help, young Black women, reach their full potential. So we have a segment here on the Chop Up where we're actually about one or two questions and kind of just get a little bit of your insight, being a person of prestige and a person of, good value in the community. So
it's prestige.
I was like,
she forgot she was wearing a wig.
She go mask available for young Miss Dotsy. So,
never mind.
All right, so we're gonna piggyback off of the things that we were talking about, right? We were talking in circles, and it was really just a big gray area, right? So with the current affairs that's going on, we have the unfortunate situation that occurred in Minneapolis, right? With the young Black man that had that incident with the police. Do you think this will finally be the tragedy the Black community, or actually be this nation, America, needs in order to start a new beginning for Black people? And I don't only want to focus on Black people because minorities have faced so many different obstacles. But do you think a tragedy that has been publicized and televised, it's been televised, like these are things that never happened before, like everybody's phone is out, it's been televised, like everybody was able to see this horrific incident from start to finish. Do you think this is finally the tragedy that's needed in order to wake America up and actually start a progressive change where we can unite all races and kind of end all of the obstacles that's been weighing a majority of the minorities in this country now?
Let me put my Howard University hat on.
Put it on
right now.
Put it on.
So this tragedy, do I think it's going to be the catalyst? No, only because these tragedies have been happening for hundreds of years. They're the reason why I'm Haitian. They're the reason why I'm in America. So I don't think this is going to be the thing that's going to spark a change, because these things have been happening. It's just now that we have access to actually see it all the time, it's just being more apparent. But if we didn't have camera phones, this would have happened anyway. So I think the Black community is very tired, if that's the best way to put it. And I think we've been tired for a long time. I think the Mike Brown situation kicked it off. And I think people are trying to find ways to make some kind of change, but I don't think things are going to change until we change the way America is built. And America, unfortunately, is built on this stuff. America would not have existed as it is today without the work of Black Africans that were brought over here. I don't think America knows how to operate without having that type of class system. They built it on the back of Black Americans, and then when they gave Black Americans the chance to be quote unquote free, they put restrictions on the freedom, fought for more freedoms, but those freedoms only related to certain people. And it's only about what 60-ish years that we had some sort of normalcy in America. I don't think it's not enough time, and I think there's still people who truly believe that racism doesn't exist and this is an isolated incident. They don't believe that this is something that happens to Black people all the time. They don't believe that when we say Black Lives Matter, we're talking about actual Black Lives Mattering. It's not all lives matter. And I think it's a language and a dialogue that has to be fixed, and it's not us who has to fix it, because we don't have a problem. It's white America that needs to understand that racism is their problem. We didn't start it. They don't understand it. They don't understand that we're treated differently just because we look a certain way. They don't understand, some of them still don't understand that they have white privilege. They think it just means that they're super rich and they have all this money. That's not what white privilege is. It just means that you're not already counted out just because you're white. And I don't think, and that's a hard pill to swallow for a lot of people who haven't had to experience that. They haven't had to encounter that. Nothing like what we experience is anything like theirs. So for the race conversation has to happen for white people. And unfortunately, I don't think Black people need to be teaching them nothing no more. We've been trying. We've said it how many times. We've fought so many times. We've seen what they've done to our countries, to our people. And honestly, I don't think we should be talking anymore. It's their problem they have to fix. And that's it.
I truly appreciate your time that you came in and, contributed to the Chop Up. I think it's a lot of good information that we don't necessarily have at the fingertips of our palm. I mean, it's there, but most people are probably preoccupied with this pandemic, current affairs, and things of that nature. So, it's kind of good to have conversation outside of that to kind of, take a break, because it's depressing, like when I watch these videos and I see certain things on social media, I'm just like, what else is going on? It's not really feeding my soul, feeding my brain.
Yeah.
So I think the last question I have for you, in terms of just taking a break from things that's just mentally draining, right? Me and Bobby are African, right? And with the whole pandemic, right? There's been a lot of myths, I want to say, in terms of things you should do to make sure that you are putting yourself in the best environment, right? Or protecting your body, or feeding yourself so you're strong enough to fight any virus that comes your way, right? So your parents are Haitian, right? What are some natural remedies that you guys do in order to fight any type of cold or virus? Because I can tell you one of the things you do, and it's gonna make your whole house smell up. You know what I mean? But I want to hear what was happening when you were growing up, or some of the things that your Haitian peers or your elders do in order to naturally combat any type of germ or viruses or anything that can kind of make them stronger.
So I'm going to preface this by saying I always that one big thing my mom's always talking about is the onions.
Onions.
My mom used to always make this ginger tea. Okay, I know it's good for you, but like she would have the ginger and then a bunch of things in it, and then I would have to drink it. I felt like I was dying, but I would have to drink it, and it was good for us. Yeah. But it usually smelled, but it was always some kind of natural herbs that she would force us to take. She sends it to my house all the time.
She sends it to your house.
She'll send it to your house? Oh,
already made.
Box of onions for me, because onions are apparently good. I should eat them raw. Listen.
But I asked that question because it's good to see that even though we are all, I guess, here in America, African American, Blacks, and we have a connection to our roots, which is Haiti, the Caribbeans, Africa. We all have a fundamental belief in a system that we've been using for years, and it just trickles down to different generations. So it's good to see that even though my family's from Ghana, Bobby, Zambia, and your family's from Haiti, we still use the same remedies, and we still try to
call it different things.
Yeah, all different things, but it's still under the same umbrella. You know what I mean? And I feel like in the Black community, if we can instill some type of foundation where we're still incorporating a lot of the good values and teachings that that connect all of us as a unit, we'll be stronger than ever. So, Lily,
yes,
you gave us a lot of information. For those who are tuned in to the Chop Up and watching us and inspired by some of the things that you said or the conversation in general, how can somebody get in touch with you, look up your business and try to get more information? Like, what are some of your social media, names, so people can kind of get a following to kind of get more information if needed?
Okay, so if you want to follow me on IG, I'm Lily Doxy, LILYDOXY, just my name. If you want to follow my businesses on IG, it's the Sponsorship Concierge or Black Girls Market. I definitely have links on both of them, so if you just go to my page, you'll be able to kind of find the others.
Listen, you're a friend of the program. You know what I mean? Like we're trying to build something, to be a pillar in our community, the world community. And whatever we need, whatever you need from us, even if it's Black Girls Market or the concierge, we're definitely here to help.
Awesome.
It was such a beautiful day. I remember when it all began.